So this is what they do. Instead of just killing themselves like they want to, this is what they do because their brain subconsciously cannot wrestle with the idea of non-existence, even though they
See,
fetishize
that's
it.
hell. That is hell. Right? So one must accept, understand, and be with it, for you shall always exist.
Called to the lost and deep. Had it all twisted, dead wrong. How do I find what I can't see? Lord, I was born to be strong.
But that's the thing, it's all built on a kind of a broken system, so it's all...
Yeah, the system broke when we made the internet. It only
Alright,
worked because people were allowed to lie.
Fucking
Yes.
The
internet
margin of
killed
error
the
was so
radio
big.
star. Calm the fuck down.
The margin of error used to be so much larger.
See, the system isn't broken because the system being broke would imply there's a way to fix it.
There is.
I have a very
No, there isn't.
distinct feeling that Democrats are going to lose extremely hard next fall.
Capitalist realism is the only survive. It's the only thing that is left.
Yeah, it's coming up. Hey. Bing, bang, boom.
Good God, the only communists we have now.
Is the real
we
is
have
the
left
only
are
decision here
hyper-capitalists.
progression or peace? Is that really?
Oh, progression is the wrong answer. We just took this like quote unquote science progression ideal and ran with it. Never been questioned.
Okay. Yeah.
We're not.
Here's
What makes
one
you think this is
quote
forwards?
that I heard, right? The true power, right? The only way to true power is to realize you'll do anything to achieve it. That's true for scientists. That's true for entrepreneurs. That's true for people who change the world, right?
Yeah.
Or those who chill.
Or Hitler.
Yeah. Yes.
The
Yes.
only way to get to something is to achieve it.
Yeah.
You know how many Jews get told that and then they become the worst human you'll ever
Yes.
meet? And they
Yes.
become lawyers
That's
and they put people in the
literally-
dirt
that's
because, oh, I deserve it.
the
I deserve
opposite of-
the only difference between me and somebody else is how hard I try for it. And I'll grind any other human into the ground to get what I want.
Yeah,
So
Alex,
that's
the
the
system is
problem
broken.
here.
Let's come on. The system is broken. We need a new one. Is literally preschooler thinking. That is the logic used by actual
Then
children.
what can
The
work?
way to the top is to grind people
Nothing.
down.
Yes, either grind to the top or just try and work within the boundaries.
That seems very limiting, as if there's nothing
You realize-
left.
It's almost
As
like
if
life
there's-
sucks. It's almost like
It
life
doesn't.
sucks.
I feel like
Yeah.
again, it does have to be
Russell-
like that.
To go up, you have to play the game. You have to give them credence. You have to say
Defining
yes. This is
defining
what it is.
yours by theirs. That's the problem I have.
It's a game, and you are forced to participate. You
Yeah,
have
not
no
to-
choice.
not to
get
sound
to-
like not to sound like a canker faggot, but read fucking capitalist realism, or at least skim it online, because he's completely right. The collapse of the Soviet Union is definite proof that there is literally no alternative to what we have now. No realistic alternative.
It's easier to
Because if we-
imagine
if
an
we were
end
to
to the
ever-
world
No,
than
no,
an end to
but
capitalism.
we literally.
Yes, I think that's literally his
as,
tagline.
us
That's
as
his-
Americans
yes, it
have
is.
no. The CIA have literally ground down any other viable competition.
Yes, and if we were to try, the Chinese would do exactly the same. That is his argument. His argument is not that it is impossible to make work, but through the facilities that have already been put into place,
You
the
have
cycle
to-
will feed itself. And it
You
will
have
always
to
end up
show
that way.
weakness to capitalism is about only showing strength, because the second you don't show strength, somebody else will try and take it from you. So how the hell are you supposed to get out of the cycle of you have to prove you're the biggest and the baddest without just getting steamrolled by the biggest and the baddest?
And there's the use for religion. Okay, let's get it.
What do you mean?
Yes, and guess what? The Chinese are atheist and are on our heels and working their way to our fucking shins.
All right, okay. We have religion. All right.
In fact, yes, he wrote this book about, 12, 15 years ago or something? Maybe less than that. It was a decently long enough time ago.
I have 2 vaccines. 2
Like, China, not only, in addition to his point, the collapse of the Soviet Union and the rise of China is proof that there is no alternative.
Nah.
Capitalism is all that is left.
What about a religion state?
It's
Religious
impossible to make
theocracies are
work.
almost always bad. Because there is no text, there is no permanent record, which I guess
Yeah.
is what I've been
I mean,
complaining about with the internet, that there's too much.
Yeah,
What if there's not
that's the thing.
enough?
I mean, that's part of the argument, isn't it? The fact that we cannot go back. We cannot uninvent the things. We have things
Mm-hmm.
now that simply did not exist in the past and will never unexist, short of actual annihilation.
We didn't have Uber Eats, the internet, Twitter. The Silicon Tards will argue that this is actually a good list.
I
of
remember
things.
actually hearing like the only difference between liberals and conservatives now in America is that one believes it can get better and the other believes we have to milk everything we got
been
now.
better.
Literally a chapter out of capitalist realism. Yeah, no, he actually touches on that. He touches on modern leftism in the book, and he says exactly what you say.
But
There's no actual left.
I hate that. Where's it gone? It's gone.
It's got no. That's his point. His point. And another. And as an aside, Russell, the guy who wrote the book killed himself a few years ago.
Which is why I'm trying to say there needs to be
no
guidance
Mark Fisher,
here,
baby.
or it's all
There is
gone.
no hope. Yes, there is no hope.
There needs to be guidance.
We
You
can
just need
create
somebody with
hope.
enough charisma to believe. There is no.
Nigga,
It's not
I'll do
hope.
it
It's not hope.
myself.
It's blind belief. They don't want hope. They want somebody who has the answers. It's not hope. It's past
I
hope.
have answers.
It's like closure. You don't want hope. You want it wrapped up and done. You don't want to hope for more. You
Yep.
want it done now.
So you put it in a nice box of religion, bruh.
Oh, God. How about the religion is I'll
Well, that's
shoot
the thing.
you if you pretend to not be happy.
The thing is about theocracies that they also really can't exist. There's no room. That would imply atheism is too inlaid an idea. It is too common and is too popular. That it cannot be undone. Like that's the thing. That's the thing. There are things that simply cannot be undone short of annihilation of the human race.
The issue is the only thing.
Steven,
There's a position of power. Only
I'm
people
pretty
who
sure
want the power.
you'd be hard pressed to even do that.
Oh shit! A pro Overwatch player died.
I'm pretty sure we'd come out like cockroaches, bruh.
Russell, there's a reason.
No, that's the thing. It is literally impossible.
There's a
We are
reason
too
a
hard
lot
to
of
destroy.
there's a reason a lot of politicians are pedophiles. It's not just don't put the cart before the horse. They were pedophiles and realized, as a politician, I can fuck more kids. So they went for the position of power. That's how it works.
Yes.
No prominent politicians went there being, I'm going to do a good job and help people. It's no, I need to rape children.
Yeah.
And this is the best
Alex,
way I can do it.
Alex, to quote Oscar Wilde, but it wasn't actually Oscar Wilde. Everything in the world is about sex, is about power, or everything in the world is about sex, except for sex. Sex is about power.
Wait. I might have that saved.
You have to. It's too good a quote.
I need to get away with it. How do I do that?
Oh,
Politics.
Oh, politics.
oh, Alex, he ate shit.
He eats shit.
To
Full send,
validate.
though. Full send. Gotta give it to him.
Incredible.
How could you guys imagine a good religion?
Yeah, the
Theoretically.
one nobody believes in.
Well, that's the thing, isn't it?
I mean, no.
Do you think you
the
can?
religion of no progress? Well, we have the religion of progress now. Everybody believes progress is a good thing. You have to... The progressor. Ooh, I'm progressing.
Yeah, I was about to say there is a religion now, and it is not theocratic
It's
in origin,
science.
but it's a religion nonetheless. It is a fetishization.
You're right.
What?
What's the good religion? The one where people don't talk to each other and go around ponder orbs or some shit. What is that? Is that a police radio in Steven's house?
Fuck. Yeah, there's all this shit around.
Are you telling me people don't feel each other anymore? Damn.
People never did. We feel each other more than ever, and it's sickening. That's why the magic is gone, Russell. There's no ignorance.
I'm trying to feel, bro.
Yeah, and you would have before if you didn't know.
but I do know.
All
and
you
it's
feel
good.
is what could. All you
It is
feel is
good.
what could. The action
could?
is never good.
Disagree.
Yeah, I was cooking that fucking apple tart the whole time. I was sitting there salivating, crying about how good this would be. I ate it. It was just as good as I could have ever imagined, except it was terrible. Tasted wonderful. All of that. Everything was right,
Look,
except
and
eating it.
right
It
there,
was
that's
the
mindset.
it was the
That's
anticipation.
literally all mindset.
There's a reason.
That's literally all mindset.
No. There's a reason Alanis Morissette made a song called fucking, what is it? Not Temptation. What's that thing? Anticipation. No, she didn't make a song called Remember That Thing I Did 30 Seconds Ago? No, because it fucking sucked. All that mattered was the anticipation. You don't give a shit. Same with this. You don't give. Nobody gives a shit about
Alright,
fucking.
so change your focus.
It's about the
change
flirting.
Your focus, bro.
It's not, Russell. It's not the focus. I'm telling you, the process is the issue.
So change it.
It's
change
your
it.
mind. You can have no
change the
mindset.
process.
You can have no
Change
mindset.
the mind process.
We're born.
No.
we're born
Follow. Okay,
biologically.
follow step. Go step by step. Go step by step. Instead of extrapolating, go step by step.
What do you mean?
I mean,
What do you mean? Go step by step. Just.
okay. Start
find
at
find somebody
start
who
position,
already.
change next position.
Yeah, you're right. Find somebody else's checklist that they made when they did this by themselves. Follow it to a T. Don't think about what happens on each step. Don't think about anything that could go wrong. Don't think about you ever doing this by yourself. Follow what somebody else did and be surprised by the outcome. Woo, happy. Garbage. Go to an MCU film.
Okay. I got one right for you. Okay. Look at the creation you've made. All right. Eat creation you've made. Enjoy the fact that you just had some food. That was pretty tasty.
Yeah, Alex, reminder that in our lifetimes,
Nah,
our government gave money to money holders because the money holders ran out of money.
look.
Several times.
Yes.
They gave Wall Street $4 trillion.
The bank bailouts were
what was that?
unironically the end of the West.
Was that 10 years ago that they gave them $4 trillion, and
That
now
was
we
about
can't?
12, 11, 12, something like that.
And now we can't pass a bill that fixes our roads for $1 trillion? Oh, did you see that infrastructure bill? They slipped in some crypto laws. Every single crypto purchase has to be reported to the IRS. Oh, but guess who's immune to that?
Your
Banks.
Yes.
Banks don't have to report them to the
Shit.
IRS.
What today?
The big
What?
financial failure
No.
in the late 2000s was literally the end of the West.
No, wait.
It's
wait
not
a minute.
the end of the West.
Wait a
It's
minute.
just you get to see
Alex and Steven.
how many fingers
Alex
they
and
have on your
Steven.
cock when they
Alex
grip the
and
Jews grip
Steven.
the money system.
Dude, who do you see? Yourself as American or human?
Neither.
American.
That's you fuckers.
Neither.
That's where you're failing, bro.
No, I'm
If
a
you
citizen
see-
of
if
the
you-
world, die.
If you see yourself as holy shit. Okay. If you see yourself as a human, you were born stupid. You are so much more than a human. You are an accident. You are worthless. You are suffering for the sake of suffering. It is sickening.
Oh,
There is
Alex,
no
the universe is
consciousness.
true.
It's
The universe is
ridiculous.
true as well.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. The universe is essentially playful in nature because it's just an excited state of the nothing that we had before. It's playful in nature. Why does it suck?
Yeah, listen, tribalism is literally a requirement. For
That's when we
success.
had the most fun.
You need to compartmentalize. You need to or humans
I
need
agree.
to compartmentalize their lives.
I agree.
We're not
Why do
human.
you
You
think?
can't.
Why do you think there are families there are children who will speak English 18 hours a day, come home and speak Spanish for 6 among the people who really matter?
Ugh,
Mm-hmm.
Because that is what's important.
that's
the
wild.
compartmentalizing, the small scale, the tribe.
Yeah,
That's
people,
all that matters.
people who are, speak several languages, they're always like, no, words hardly have as much of an emotional effect as in my native language.
There's always seems to be a disconnect when people try to bring the small scale up. Always.
Yeah, because you can't. Because the
Yeah.
difference between 0 and 1 is incalculable. Oh, it's so small. Oh, it's undescribably small. I'm going crazy.
That, but unironically.
Yeah, no, you need to compartmentalize. Nobody sees themselves as a human. You do not
So
see
from
yourself
there,
as
why can't
cells
people-
live. You do not see yourself as a system of cells, which is a system
okay,
of
whoa,
whatever
whoa,
of
take it
organelles,
back,
which
take
is
it
a
back,
system of fucking
take it back,
atoms.
roll it back.
No, you say you wanted to go from small to
Yes,
to
yes.
big.
So why can't people work within, that, aspect of living? Like,
You can't because consciousness
the
is a
people
meme.
because the people in charge know that by subverting our ability to understand things on the small scale, they can exact a level of control that has never to been explored in human history.
Squash their will to power, and you have no
the
enemies.
The fact is, you guys see it.
Yes.
What do you mean you see it? No, I'm saying the human doesn't need to compartmentalize. The human can't not compartmentalize. You
It is
can't.
literally a requirement.
No. Some people
it's
can choose not to
inalienable.
try. You know those people. You know those
no,
people.
you
Yes,
can't.
yes, they
Russell,
go insane or kill themselves.
Yeah.
Russell, you cannot build your human experience from the ground up. It is too much.
I
The best
haven't.
computer in the
I
world
agree.
couldn't do
I
it.
haven't.
None of that could
I
do it.
got here
You have to compartmentalize.
going through everything that led up to this
That's
point.
not what I mean. That's not what I mean. That's
So-
not what
so,
I mean.
what do
You
you
cannot.
mean?
You cannot see your human experience as you in any form.
I don't.
There is
I see it as
absolutely
everything.
zero way. Oh, come on now. That's no different. Actually, is that the way I'm
Everything
talking
has
about? You
literally
can't-
come to this point somehow.
No. No. I mean, you cannot understand you have to compartmentalize. You can't go from atoms to organelles to
But
cells
that's how it
to
worked. That's how
organs.
it happened.
Yeah, but
What do you mean?
you can't do that. You can't
Time
have
shows
that in
us
your
that's
head.
how it is.
What
it
do you
simply
Russell,
is.
Russell,
Alex.
Russell, stop. You're actually arguing some other point. You're arguing that evolution exists. How is that what we're talking about? You as a human cannot fathom this. You cannot have this information and act on it like you know it's true. You live on systems that you have built up. You do not live
Okay,
on
so
the
you
idea that
say
you come from
can't.
these
I
cells.
can't possibly know. That's what you're trying to get at. I couldn't possibly
Yes.
know.
No, not that. No, I swear to God, are you taking this as, oh, I couldn't possibly know that we was monkeys and shit? No. This is, forget time. Time is a compartmentalization.
Agreed.
Forget
Agreed.
time.
Agreed.
This is not about time. As you are now, you can't fathom how you experience your experience in any form. You have to compartmentalize it. Ooh, that tastes good. Oh, that looks neat. That makes me feel that. You can't.
Alex,
None of that is
Alex,
true.
Feeling.
None of that is true.
Feeling is that.
no,
Feeling.
no,
Feeling. The
no.
irrationality of it. We can't
You're-
explain it.
you're
You can't
literally-
tie it down. That's
You can't
literally
explain it, but
feeling.
somebody else.
It's
These are
literal emotion.
socialized.
It's literal emotion.
These are socialized behaviors.
Literal. You're
You
saying
are
emotion
not,
doesn't
You are
exist.
not. These are socialized behaviors. Emotions are a result of socialization. Those motherfuckers.
No, babies.
Yes,
We've seen
yes, so is
babies
empathy.
born.
So is empathy.
We've seen babies
There's a reason
born.
black people commit more
They've
crime
literally had them in containers.
because they don't get shown empathy as children. And children have grown out in the wild, and have entirely different emotional responses to
Yes,
being
but
raped.
they can experience an emotional emotion either way.
Yes,
Is that irrationality?
Yes, but that's again. This is just not even close to what I'm
What
trying to say.
Please.
What does that even mean?
Please.
I
feel as
the
if-
way
as
you
if-
experience your life and the way you experience other experiences is only through the lens of all the fucking people who have formed your being, I guess. You can only see these things through the experiences of others. We're social creatures, not because it's good for us, But no, fuck,
Whoa.
wait. Not because it's good for the individual, but because it's good for the system. The system is good when all of the things inside of it act the same.
Whoa. Whoa. That's a major disconnect. Major disconnect. Whoa. Slow down.
How? How? What about it is good? How did we get this far? By everything being the essence of the uncanny valley.
How did we get this
or
far? By everything being.
Yeah, exactly. Things worked better back then. How do you not think that the progression of time has perverted what it is to be human? The more time goes on,
If
the further
everyone
we are
was
from the starting
same,
point,
we wouldn't
the
have
less.
problems. We wouldn't have problems. If everyone was the same, we wouldn't have problems. What the
Yes,
fuck?
and we wouldn't have good things either.
Yeah, Alec, this is why they don't teach entropy in schools, because the idea of all things coming to a permanent end is so literally
Damaging.
mind-destroying that you can't teach it to children. It'll bring a large subsect of those children in school to the verge of tears.
To the brink of
It will
insanity.
hurt them.
I
It will
remember when
hurt
Jacob
them.
Lang.
Maybe for you, Steven.
Remember that
If
old
they
people's
actually had a
home?
brain,
Jacob
if
Lang.
they're actually smart, you
Nigga, Nelson knows all about it.
Jacob Lang was
They
like
decide to ask
like
questions.
hyper. He was hyperventilating. Yeah, he was hyperventilating,
death?
looking at old people. He's like, I'm not gonna be young my whole life. Sick.
got
That's exactly,
You were
that's
never
exactly
young.
what I'm talking about. That is exactly what I'm
Yeah.
talking about.
You
You
were
cannot teach
never
entropy
young.
in schools. Like, I'm talking like large-scale physical entropy within
And so
theoretical
they
physics.
beat you
You
down.
can't teach that
They
to children.
grind you down to be a fucking mindless drone.
Because
Yeah,
that will
here's
literally
math.
destroy you.
Yes.
But
Even physicists don't like talking
but
about
from
it
there,
because it's human.
why can't people accept it? Try accepting it and then moving on. People
Yeah,
have
why
the
do you
hardest time.
Because it's because some
They
people
can't.
literally
They
cannot
can't
do it.
No,
do
Why
it.
do you think
I think it's possible.
easiest
Russell,
science
I think it's
with
possible.
the fewest
Russell.
people?
I think it's
Look,
possible.
Russell, this is what the human brain does to nature. You see this? We are not meant for this. Consciousness was a mistake. Look at
Stop.
go do math. Go do math. That way you don't have to think about the fact that, oh, we only have you here because you signed the social contract, and you only signed the social contract because you've never known anything else, because you're a social animal, because you have no choice about how you are. You are only a result of the things around you. Don't you feel a little silly? Don't you feel
Alex, you also got
a little
zero
goofy?
hoes, nigga.
Slow down.
Don't you feel a little ashamed?
But like this image
But
made me
Alex-
feel so bad
Alex,
that I
that's
liked
the
math.
beauty
It
in
should.
it. Don't you see? We
I'm going to-
are.
That's the beauty in
we
it.
simply are. That's
No,
the
no,
beauty.
Russell, look, this is the
This
beauty in
isn't
it.
a threat,
Look at what
this is a
humans do.
promise. I'm going to kill her.
This is the beauty in it. This is what
No.
people do.
The process, the system, as you
This nigga actually
said,
said just a process.
the fact that we have come to this existence somehow, some
Hey,
way.
go to bed. You got work
We've
tomorrow.
come to this existence
fucking
because nobody
sucks.
was man enough to say stop.
Yeah, it kind of fucking sucks.
My
Bro, make it
parents were
good.
like, my parents
This is why
My parents
Make it
laid
better.
bricks
What
for a
would make
living.
it
I
better?
have to do
Hey.
better than I
Hey,
have to do
Alex,
better
we
than
all
my
wanna
parents.
kinda do something, right?
you can do is just get drunk every day.
Yeah, Alex, why do you think people either think fate is wrong, or like fate is not a real thing, or they attribute it to religion? Because people cannot deal with the fact that it's true. That everything
Yes.
is simply a sum of its parts, and you cannot escape the cycle.
Yes. Yes.
Almost served the cycle.
But unironically.
That's hilarious. I think we should just sacrifice a shade to the moon god.
These are that's a good one. This is a good one.
Oh, Christ.
No,
Shit.
this isn't a good
Holy
one.
shit.
I'm drunk and I mean everything I say. We need to sacrifice a shade.
This I also this is my class.
Alex,
It's
that
so
is
good.
the meme you sent to me.
Okay.
I love it's basically about how people get wrapped up in human knowledge.
I need to
Okay.
come.
Let's break it the fuck down.
Let's fucking go.
It's It's also like some kind of obvious, like, yeah, no one, of course, it's easier to just sit around people who say the same things. And then
No
what
one
game
is
what game is this? It's
This is the
That's Metal
nightmare
Gear,
sequence
right?
from MGS3. I
That's
think.
yeah, Metal Gear Solid.
Yeah.
There's a sequence in I think MGS3 where you go through a nightmare, and that's like all your communication device gets hacked and like it's like ghosts in the machine are talking to you or some shit like that.
Starting off on 9/11. Woo. Yeah, this is some. What is
Well,
it?
Alex, because 9/11 was
Japanese.
was the logical conclusion of an illogical sequence of actions.
God. Yeah, 9/11 was the last time someone said, "Hey, maybe we should stop progress."
My problem is,
They squished
honestly, it would honestly take so little out of just everyone. Everything would be so much better. Just a little bit out of everyone. A little bit.
Yeah, but a vast majority
I-
of those
that's-
people can't do it.
No. They can. It's either they won't
They don't want to.
coerce not
Listen,
to.
we
Never
are
told
looking
how
at what
to.
happens. We are looking at what happens when people peer into the abyss. It is peered back, and this is the result.
I disagree. I don't think.
Well, you can
I don't
disagree,
think
but
there's
it
a
doesn't
ever
change it.
foreboding void in front of us.
Well, philosophically, there is not on the most basic not on the most basic level of thought, but on the deeper philosophical level, there is a void.
Yeah, I mean, what do you mean that there's no void in front of us? You won't live long enough to see it. And if you do, if you live long enough to see it, like, what's the point? It's the end. Who cares? You've made it. You finished the movie. What was it? Humans are some little faggots who only get 15 minutes on stage, are afraid of it the whole time, and then die.
Something
there's
isn't
no
beautiful
applause.
because it lasts.
Yeah, it's only beautiful because it's tragic. It's not. It's like I think you need to understand that beauty only works because there's an inverse to it. It's
beauty
it's a
is
zero-sum
Okay,
game.
so take
It's
it
100%
all.
a zero-sum
So
game.
take it all.
No, beauty is only prioritized because people know that it will inevitably be corrupted. It's the corruption that people are looking after. The beauty
Yeah.
is simply if they do not take prize of the beauty, they will not
That
enjoy
is
the corruption as
why-
much as they should.
That is why they go after the kids.
Yes.
I need to be the one to soil this. I want to see the corruption.
Yes.
Yes.
Everything. Listen.
If they can't, if they can't grab the beauty before it's corrupted, might
If
as
they
well
can't
corrupt it in
fuck
the
the
process.
beauty out of it, then they wasn't beauty to begin with. Also, thanks to our pattern-seeking reptile brains, negative things are twice as bad as positive things are good, because it's better to avoid a negative outcome than it is to get a good one. So when when in a zero-sum game, beauty and pain and sorrow are 1-to-1, you'll see it as 1-to-2. So
Alex, when I said we
but
define
that's the thing.
we define human life by our
Your
suffering.
literal perspective can change that for like relationship.
Listen, there's a reason to the people who agree that
you can't.
Life is defined by suffering. There's a reason they fuck off into the mountains and just think about it all day. Because it's all that's left.
Yeah. Oh, you still
It's the
read?
most
You don't just sit
primal-
there and think?
Yeah, it's the most primal experience to just live in the mountains and like tend gardens and like think about your existence. That is the most base. That is the most primal. And the fact that they do not do it solitarily, but do it in communes and abbeys, that's what makes it so human to begin with.
I think that's pretty beautiful.
Only the
Exactly. It's base. It's beautiful because it's base. It's simple. There's no depth to it, other than the depth of the thought itself.
I'm cool with that, yeah.
Exactly. You should be. There's no reason not to. That is why monks are still revered, even by the non-religious.
Yeah.
It appeals to our most base instincts.
But I
our
mean,
most
like,
base
like
feelings.
it actually just feels like all right. Like, just like
Yeah,
I'm cool.
well-
Like if that was I would yeah.
The whole point of monks
exactly.
is accept no pleasure, feel no pain.
Exactly. It is the most human experience, which is, like I said, why even the non-religious revere monks. Because it appeals to the most human, the most internal. It is literally a life stripped of an additive experience.
And then from there you
Have
have
you
the
seen-
monks
A
that start
child born
experimenting
with
with their life force and shit.
because there are still, that's the thing. No, there's no way. This is just going to turn into schizophrenia. That's because schizophrenics are correct. That's because they're right.
No,
They're right.
when the monks are testing their life force, they know it's not going to work, so they know they're not risking having a pleasure to feel the pain. They do this in their futile effort. Doing the human power force thing, it's basically their artistic rendition of somebody going and living out their life. They do like a 15-second dance, and that's about how effective human life is at making you feel good.
When they actually
the
heal
monks who
your wound
experiment-
in 5 minutes.
The monks who experiment with life force are like those are the people that see. There's not just one base human experience.
True.
That is just the other side of the coin. You know, they're the guys who just fuck off in the mountains and tend to gardens and think and meditate all day, and then the people who fuck off to the mountains and just do schizophrenic things, because schizophrenia is inherently human. It's not a disease; it's an alternative.
Yeah, ignorance is the spice of life. What if you took that seriously?
Exactly.
But what if we
Schizophrenia.
took it seriously?
Then you'd be schizophrenic.
Yeah, you're schizophrenic.
Scare yourself all the time, you'll live in happiness.
But it's not
Listen-
fear if you don't choose it. If you know how,
sure.
you can choose wonder instead. The inverse.
You don't choose. You keep on saying choose. You have no idea how to choose.
That's
You don't-
that's
What
the
are you gonna
thing
do?
I
You're gonna
disagree with
manifest
because
it?
I've worked. I feel like as if I've worked to get to the point where I can, know when, why, how
works.
I am.
No, you can't.
You ended up there by the result of actions that you did not actually choose to do.
Your
Yes,
pattern,
and I'm
brain.
chill with that, bro.
your
That
pattern-seeking brain
simple.
sees what you want, sees what you're
Yeah, you
hoping
don't,
it sees.
you don't
you're
choose the visions
you're
of your father coming to
cherry-picking.
rape you.
Like I said earlier, the
Huh?
reason people either disregard fate or assign it to religion or some kind of higher power is because they cannot deal with the fact that it's true, and that we are simply the result of subconscious decisions.
But yeah,
were
but
not actually chosen.
that is the fact. That is a fact.
There's a comfort in that.
Yes.
There is
Yeah.
a warmth in
Yes.
that.
Rich